Parents who fall behind on child support payments typically face enforcement measures, including civil contempt of court, that may have consequences for the whole family. The Procedural Justice-Informed Alternatives to Contempt demonstration, or PJAC, is a new approach developed by the Federal Office of Child Support Enforcement, being evaluated by MDRC and its research partners.
MDRC logo: Building Knowledge to Improve Social Policy. PJAC logo: Procedural Justice-Informed Alternatives to Contempt.
The goal of PJAC is to increase parental engagement and promote consistent payments by applying the 5 principles of procedural justice to the child support process as an alternative to contempt.
The 5 principles of procedural justice: respect, understanding, voice, helpfulness, neutrality.
This video highlights how child support professionals use the principle of neutrality in the PJAC demonstration sites.
Lori Valdez, PJAC Case Manager.
What neutrality means to me is listening to both sides, not valuing one side more than the other.
Lisa Hall, PJAC Case Manager.
I talk to both sides, the person receiving support as well as the person paying support. And I try to just foster a working relationship with both parties so that we can work together as a team.
Case conferencing is a specific tool case managers use to demonstrate neutrality. Michelle explains why creating an environment that feels equal to both parents is so important.
Michelle Franco, Project Director.
If you can get them both in the room at the same time or both on the phone at the same time, then they can actually hear how you're interacting with the other parent. They can hear the fact that you have the same expectations for parents. They hear you explain the expectations at the same time. They hear the other parent ask follow-up questions to the expectations and your explanation to those.
Heather Noble, Child Support Director.
So that true, impartial view to help with the decision making and the next steps and actions within the case is also why one of those core principles is so important in how procedural justice is delivered within the child support program.
Establishing neutrality can have far-reaching impacts.
When parents perceive a child support process to be neutral, they are both willing to engage in the process. I think that's really important because you need the involvement of both the custodial parent and the non-custodial parent to achieve the best support for the child that you can.
Ann Durkin, Program Administrator.
One way that I have seen neutrality work in the child support process through PJAC is engagement with parties who previously were not engaged. We had one case that came in, and when we tried to set up a case conference, Dad did not feel that the child support agency was neutral. He felt that we were setting him up and that if he came into our offices, he would be arrested because 20 years ago, that's something that we did. We agreed to meet with him off-site after hours. So we set up a conference at our local public library and met with him and Mom. They both felt that they had a voice and that they were able to explain what they needed, and they felt like we were treating them fairly. This dad has paid all of his arrears down to zero, is making consistent monthly payments, and has a great relationship with his kids.
With funding from the Office of Child Support Enforcement at the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, MDRC, MEF Associates, and the Center for Court Innovation.
MDRC logo: Building Knowledge to Improve Social Policy. PJAC logo: Procedural Justice-Informed Alternatives to Contempt. Center for Court Innovation logo: MEF Associates logo.
Continue to study the effectiveness of applying procedural justice principles in child support settings in 5 states:
Arizona, California, Virginia, Ohio, Michigan.
To learn more, visit acf.hhs.gov/CSS and mdrc.org.
Watch more videos from the series on the PJAC project to learn more.